This is News 6 Tonight.
Welcome to News 6 Tonight. Glad to have you with us in it's a quiet newsroom this time of night, usually no matter what, but it has been a pretty interesting news day, especially as of late. We have some stuff coming down on this story that we have all been wondering about. Very strange case. Good to see you tonight, Rail Stalker. He's not just saying hi to Ginger and me, he's saying hello to the entire News 6
We
family.
appreciate that. We
So,
appreciate that. Most of them have left for the evening, but we're still holding it down for you guys.
This is our man Gallo right here who's taking care of everything.
Oh, he's delightful. He's lovely. But the reason we're still here and you see a crew and a cast, a crew of characters is because the news continues. And at 6:30 today, we got hit with some big headlines on what possibly happened on a cruise ship. We know it was a mystery at sea that happened aboard the Carnival Horizon early November when this 18-year-old was found dead on this cruise ship. We now know it is a murder mystery at sea because today officials confirmed that 18-year-old Anna Kepner was actually murdered aboard the Carnival Horizon for her excursion. And now they are trying to figure out who done it. And they're talking to everyone they can. And because it happened in international waters, the FBI is now involved in this investigation. It is a big story. That ship sails out of Miami. So, of course, the people in Florida care about it. But nationally, so many people cruise. They come to Florida to cruise. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
This was
You
at
do
the
not
top
want to
of
mess with
national
that.
news tonight.
Yes,
It was a huge
absolutely.
deal.
It really, and it's still a huge deal. And we still have a lot of questions. Here's CBS News reporter Christian Benavidez with the latest.
CBS News has learned that criminal charges may soon be filed against the step-sibling of Anna Kepner. The 18-year-old high school cheerleader from Titusville, Florida, was found dead on the Carnival cruise ship Horizon the morning of November 7th. Few details have been released, but law enforcement sources told CBS News that Kepner's body was discovered by a housekeeper under the bed in her stateroom. She was on a family vacation with her father, stepmother, and 3 step-siblings at the time of the incident, and reportedly told her family the night before she died she was not feeling well and went back to her room. When she didn't show up for breakfast, a frantic search began.
Certainly, it just points a finger at some level of foul play.
Michael Winkleman is an expert in maritime law.
If Anna was out and about on the ship, and let's say she was overly intoxicated and someone was taking advantage of her, there's ship security all over that vessel. They have an obligation to keep their passengers reasonably safe.
CBS News has also learned that investigators are now reviewing the ship's surveillance video and Kepner's cell phone data. They are also examining swipe card access that may have been used to enter the room. In a statement, Carnival Cruise Line said they are cooperating with the investigation. The senior was remembered at her high school, her car covered with balloons and flowers.
I can only imagine the pain that they're going through.
It's an awful story, and it just breaks your heart because this family, they want answers, and so do we. When we heard the details of some of this under her bed in the stateroom, and this is a pretty big ship, but not one of the biggest ships. It has just under 4,000 passengers aboard, and there are cameras just about everywhere except in private areas. They're not in staterooms.
Right,
They're
it
not
won't
in
be in the
bathrooms,
stateroom.
but they're in public hallways and
Usually
near the
when we
pool
hear
area.
about these deaths, it's because somebody jumped off or
Yeah.
maybe was pushed off. So it was surprising when we got the details that she was found under a bed, covered in things. Also surprising is this step sibling angle to this story because
Yeah.
it sounds like she was on that cruise with a stepmom and 3 step siblings. And so the mom in court filed paperwork saying, hey, it seems like the FBI is looking at one of my children.
Mm-hmm.
And so she doesn't want to say anything that would
Of
get
course
any of
not.
her children in trouble. So she wants to sort of step out of the way using her lawyers to avoid saying anything that would incriminate one of her kids. And so that's why everybody's saying it looks like one of her step siblings is going to be under an investigation, possibly for this murder of this
And here's
18-year-old.
the thing, Matt, and you may have forgotten this, or I don't know if you knew because you were probably out on a shoot last Friday. We got an email, and it was a tip about the fact that they
I have
thought
not forgotten it.
that they thought something like this would finally come to
We
light.
have been
But
hearing rumors,
rumors, yeah.
but we have not been able to
To confirm
confirm
it. So we can't
anything.
report that at
Yeah.
all. And
And the
this is,
FBI is very difficult, by the
oh
way,
my gosh.
to get any information out of ever, and it's supposed
Yeah.
to be that way. They handle huge cases like this one.
But the sad part is this young woman had such a bright future. I mean, when you talk about somebody who was a cheerleader, and when people say, oh, she lit up a room, you hear that all the time about people. But when you think about a cheerleader type person, they do light up the room when they walk in. She had just taken the test to enlist in the military. So we know she had plans to serve her country. It's just, we all have been robbed of this beautiful presence. And I think we just want answers.
Yeah, this is a story that we will be talking about
For a
a
long
lot.
time.
Anytime some new information comes out, we're going to bring it to you right here on News 6 Tonight. This newsroom is always going to be searching for this. I know our investigator, our
Oh
pit
my
bull,
gosh.
Mike DeForest, is on this story.
Yeah, he's been
and
working on it
he
for
just
a
got some
while.
documents tonight. So more on that coming up at 11 and 10 o'clock right here on News 6 Plus. Also, another interesting story today is drone technology. It has become fascinating to see how we're going to use this. It's kind of like AI, you know?
Oh.
We hear about the power of AI,
Mhm.
but we're still trying to figure out how are we actually going to use this thing. We had the internet, and I remember that. You remember that clip from the Today Show where they're like, "What are we going to do with this internet thing?" And we use it for everything.
Well, remember when we sent drones to war?
Yeah.
So, and we're like,
Well,
how does that work?
Ukraine is using them quite
Yeah,
a bit, and Russia. So, but the thought of using them in schools might freak some people out. But say there's a school shooter situation, a school can enact this drone team, which they actually fly the drone somewhere in Texas. So they're not even on site, but the drones are on site. The pilots are somewhere else.
Mhm.
They can use these drones to distract a school shooter. We've seen these situations like the one in Texas where there was a shooter holed up with a bunch of kids.
Uvalde
And-
is what
and
you're talking about.
Uvalde,
Yeah.
yeah. And there were deputies who were afraid to come in because they didn't want them shooting at the door. I know that's very controversial, but in those types of situations, imagine if you had a drone that could go in or could break through a window or shoot a little something at them to distract them. And then you can coordinate that to send the forces in. So that's what they have in several local markets here in Central Florida. It's interesting technology. Your community correspondent, Angie Casada, checked that out for us today.
We're actually in front of my former high school, Pine Ridge High, the home of the Panthers. This is one out of several campuses that Volusia County says the new drone technology could eventually be deployed. And today the district is reacting after being chosen as one of only 3 in the state to test it. They're small, but fast. And now Volusia County schools will help test whether drones like these can save lives in an active shooter situation. These drones are developed by Campus Guardian Angel, a Texas-based company the state selected for a new pilot program.
So it's really about how quickly can you get there to engage the shooter before they've had the chance to kill a whole bunch of children.
The drones stay stored in secured boxes inside schools. When an alarm is triggered, pilots at a remote command center launch them within seconds, locating the threat and then having the ability to fire non-lethal powder pellets, blare sirens, and flash strobe lights to distract or disorient an attacker. Superintendent Dr. Carmen Balgoban calls the selection an incredible honor, saying it gives the district a chance to lead with cutting-edge technology to protect students and staff. Sheriff Mike Chitwood says the drones offer incredible potential as a force multiplier, giving deputies precious time during the most dangerous moments. The state set aside $557,000 for the program, and Volusia will begin implementing it early next year.
I was wondering about that cost. $557,000 is a lot of money. I would
Yeah.
imagine that's a subscription service that you pay monthly to have that 24/7. I guess it wouldn't need 24/7, but you need like that 7 to 3 monitoring
Yeah.
at a school. That way, if anything happens, you can unleash those drones. What do you think about the technology? It's pretty interesting.
It's such interesting technology, and especially because, normally the teachers would be the first line of defense or an SRO.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't want them to have to put themselves in that situation, but they will for their kids. But you mentioned the price tag, and if it works one time, it's worth every dime.
Yeah.
It's worth every single dime. But I love the technology, and it's only going to improve and get better as time goes on. I just think of all the things we're using robots and AI for. That tattoo shop shooting where they
With the
sent in
robot
the
dog?
robot dog.
Yeah.
I see that video and it blows my mind. I'm like, that thing is going in there so a person doesn't have to get shot.
It is life-saving
Yeah.
technology. You just, there's a little piece inside your brain that thinks, is that robot dog going to be chasing me down the street one day if things go
Watch what you do.
haywire?
Watch what you do.
Well, what if somebody hacks into it? What if I am watching what I'm doing?
Then the
you
dog
know?
will be watching what you're doing. I mean, of course, you have to, be very
I'm a
careful
little
with it. But
skeptical.
of course you are. But I love that technology for schools, and especially that one of the first ones is here in Central
I'm
Florida.
also very skeptical of Roblox. I can tell you that.
Okay, so a lot of people don't even know what Roblox are, but it's being described as like a gaming platform for YouTube. You can create your 3D games and you can interact with other people, and it's really popular, Matt. It's so popular. There are 380 million users on this thing, and 111 million people use it daily. But there have been a slew of complaints from parents saying that children are exploited on this because if you know kids are on it, where do the predators go? Right to where the kids are, right? So
course.
it's like fishing in a
How many
barrel, right?
million creeps are on?
Yeah, a lot, too many. And so there have been lawsuits, and Roblox it has been accused of not doing enough to protect kids from these predators until now. Our investigator Erica Brugulio has been following this story, and she talks about some of the precautions they're going to start taking.
One of the main concerns with Roblox is that anyone can create an account and pretend to be someone else. Last month, I told you 2 Brevard County families filed separate lawsuits against Roblox, claiming young girls were groomed and sexually exploited online. The state of Florida also issued criminal subpoenas in response to allegations Roblox is not doing enough to verify users' ages and moderate content. Now, Roblox says it's verifying ages for users who want to message other players. So here's how it works. If you want to text or voice chat with someone on Roblox, you will be required to take a video of your face. This will be used to estimate your age. Roblox says the videos will be deleted after the age check is processed. Just hours ago, I spoke with someone from Roblox about the reliability of this system.
You will be able to appeal if you think that this has checked you incorrectly, in which case you'll be asked to upload a government-issued ID, or if you're a minor, you'll be able to have a parent verify your age for you.
Are there concerns that people are going to try to skirt around these new safeguards?
For the way this system works, it requires a liveness check. So you will be in a live video asked to move your head and blink so that you won't be able to use an AI generated image to pass this age check.
After the age checks, users will be assigned to age-based chats. This means children will only be allowed to message someone around their age, and the same goes for adults.
I love that this is what they're doing, but I don't love that the creepers also know how they're trying to skirt this. So they are already right now trying to figure out ways to get around it.
To me, it doesn't seem like it would. I appreciate the effort.
You got to do something.
But you have to do something.
You can't just.
They don't want to just shut down the site, I'm sure, for their business.
Oh, it's
but,
very successful for them. They're
well,
not shutting that
making
down.
billions, I think, on that game. But wouldn't it be easy for someone to just use a shot of their kid or their niece or their nephew?
Well, they're having several layers you have to go through. I don't know how, but with, again, AI, you can create a bot that looks like a child or something and say it's you and get on there and continue to do what you've been doing.
You could easily talk a kid into saying, here, just show me your face.
I
here."
know. But they have to do, the company has to do something. They can't just say like,
They're
oh, well, it's
catching-
up to parents.
They're catching a lot of heat right
Oh.
now from some of the stories that have come from people who are using that.
It's been awful.
App
It's been
as
really
a-
awful. But
as
it's
a
so
peripheral
popular and it's not going to
weapon.
go away anytime soon.
Yeah, this is true. All right, so we're going to come back. We're going to have some interesting stories for you after the break, including an update on the fire suspect from the Palisades, that big Palisades fire earlier this year. He was found in Florida.
Of course he was.
Also, more drama at an airport locally.
But not MCO, thank goodness.
No, we thought we were out of the woods. We're not quite. We'll take a break.
and he got the latest from the sheriff just a little while ago, I think. So we'll make sure we have that for News 6 tonight. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We know you're busy, but news doesn't stop, and neither do we.
That's right. And this is News 6 Tonight, where we leverage this entire busy newsroom with our community correspondents, our producers, our content desk, and then we filter through that. We have a casual conversation about the news that impacts Central Florida.
Yeah, we live here in the community, and we rely on you for our neighborhood network because you're our eyes and ears as well, and we can't do it without you.
So you can watch us all over the place, YouTube, News 6 Plus app, and clickorlando.com. While you're here, feel free to engage. Let us know who you are and where you're from. Glad to have you back with us here on News 6 Tonight. I thought we might finally be out of the woods at the airport. We had an airport story every day for a
Like
week,
2 weeks.
10 days. Air traffic controllers are back to work. TSA agents are getting paid. Some of them
Woo!
even got bonuses of 10 grand.
$10,000.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought, man, the flights are going to be running smooth. for
Everything's
Thanksgiving.
coming up roses
But then,
now.
the pilots, they're like,
Wait a minute.
I want some of that cheddar myself. So they were striking at a local airport today. Our community correspondent, Mark Lehman, caught up with them.
I'm News 6's Mark Lehman, and we are at Orlando Sanford International Airport, where a picket is happening involving Allegiant Airlines pilots. They say they are frustrated with stalled negotiations that have dragged on for years, and they're calling for action from Allegiant, saying the longer they're without a contract, the more risk there is for cancellations and delays.
All right, you're doing something.
A showing of solidarity in Sanford. More than 100 Allegiant workers, mostly pilots, picketing at the airport in demanding an end to a stalemate in contract talks.
It's been about 5 years or longer, and we're just trying to get in line with compensation, benefits, and work rules that match our peers in the other airlines.
Oliver Shields is joining more than 1,400 pilots across the country at 22 airports. It's happening as the union claims Allegiant is continuing to ask for concessions while not addressing concerns about pilot retention.
We haven't had a pay raise in 10 years, and we feel like it's about time and we deserve it. We're a little frustrated by that.
Allegiant has offered what it calls a competitive package. It includes a 50% average increase in hourly wages that scales to 70% over 5 years. The company releasing a statement saying in part, "We are operating our full schedule and do not anticipate any disruptions related to the informational picketing." Allegiant remains steadfast in its commitment to working in good faith to secure a deal for our pilots.
So I was trying to find some solid numbers on what an Allegiant pilot makes, and it seems like it varies quite a bit depending on your experience. If you're a captain, you obviously make a lot more.
Sure.
Some of them can make 96. Some of them can make 130-ish.
Some of them could have made more if they'd gotten raises.
Yeah, they haven't had a raise in 10 years. Some of them, it says the early starting salaries when you're just starting out might be 50 to 60. So I'm seeing big ranges. I don't really trust
Of
salary
course,
ranges
of
unless
course.
I
We
see
need
it
to
from
speak to
this
one
was
of
a
them.
very cursory search online, but it's interesting to see that you think, because I think a pilot is a hardworking. You had to go to a lot of school. You had to get a lot of training to get that.
Make a lot of money.
I want them to make a lot of money.
I want them to be happy.
Yeah, I do too.
Very happy
I
in
don't
the
want
cockpit.
stressed out, depressed,
No,
worried about their finances. Pilots.
I need you to fly high and be happy.
I want you to be awake and rested and feeling good. So let's
Not
pay
a
those
care
guys,
in the
Allegiant.
world. Yeah, exactly. Okay, a story that we thought we always have some sort of Florida connection. This one happened on the other side of the country, the Palisades fire that happened in January. And we have some video to remind you just how horrific this fire was. This was the fire started burning January 7th. They were able to put it out January 31st. Imagine something like that burning all that time. It killed 12 people and it burned to the ground like almost 7,000 structures.
So you would think, why is this Florida newscast talking
About that.
this?
Well, because the person they tied this whole thing to was found living in Melbourne, Florida. Jonathan Renderneck is his name. And he appeared in a federal court in California today. He was trying to get bail. We still don't know the outcome of that because it's California time and it takes a lot of time for them to go through all the processes and everything. But he's trying to get bail. Everyone is saying this guy is a flight risk because he was texting his friend saying, hey, I have a job, I have connections in Bali.
Right. And he lived in France for a while.
Yeah, he's from France. And I think that's where he might have been born, not sure. But his sister, he lived with his sister, her husband, and their kids, their young kids. And this is the house in Melbourne, Florida, where they lived. Things got so bad. She called 911 several times. It got so bad that she left her own house and just left him there.
How terrified would you have to be of someone to be like, you know what, you can have
You
my
can
house,
have this house, and I'm going to take my whole
kids
family.
and my husband and
move.
walk out the door.
Yeah, and they also found that he had lied about, investigators found he lied about having access to a gun. He said he had it locked away in the house. They found it in, I think, a teddy bear where the kids could easily have gotten a hold of it. And you tell me how crazy that is. You put it in a teddy bear, you know your sister has young kids. Why, of all things to put it in?
That's horrifying.
It is terrifying, which
Clearly
is
a kid
why.
would grab that teddy bear.
And now you understand why his sister left the house because her kids, not just her kids are in danger. He threatened to kill her husband. It was
a lot more to figure out in this story, and it's still a developing situation. As again, this guy hasn't been convicted of anything.
No, he
there's
hasn't.
Some
He's
evidence against him on his phone that was not such a good look.
the digital footprint is really, really hard to beat sometimes. And when they have that and they're going through your phone and they're finding all of these different things, and the fact that he wants to get out on bail, I don't know how it's looking for him at this point.
It wasn't his phone. He chat GPT. What does a hellscape of fire looking like?
It
burning
was,
through?
oh my gosh, just it was.
So do we have Jonathan ready for us, Matt? All right, let's go to Jonathan Kagas. Look with our meteorologist. I mean, you got an easy gig these days, right? Everything's just peachy keen over in the weather office.
You would think so. You would think so.
Yeah.
What is it not?
Some drama over there?
No, not in the weather, but it's just it's always busy because we're always trying to dissect some things and little
Yeah,
nuances
that's true.
and
I
here.
was gonna say, is it that
here and
Candace
there and
You guys
stuff.
can't take it
Candace
easy.
Campos causing drama again?
She always causes drama.
So dramatic.
Absolutely. No, just kidding. Love
What are you guys
Candace.
talking about?
I don't know. Starting something, I guess. No. So while it's quiet, it gives the opportunity to dive a little deeper and to look at some of the other clues the atmosphere gives us. So looking into the long range, of course, we've got a pretty big holiday coming up. We talked about this yesterday, Thanksgiving. It's Thursday. So you see a huge divide here. So what I'm showing you right now is the temperature anomaly, and where it's red and orange, that's where it's expected to be above normal in the temperature department relative to where we should be for this time of the year. Where it's blue and purple, that is where it is expected to be colder than normal. So kind of split right down the middle there. We're going to be warm for Thanksgiving, but you see all that blue out there? Shortly after, I think we're going to have another pretty decent blast of colder air coming in. So if you haven't put up Christmas decorations just yet, you'll be feeling festive, I think, post-Thanksgiving. We're going to talk much more about that. And we'll look into the little bit of a long range into hurricane season. There's not much long range to go, thankfully. There's 12 days left, but the latest outlook just came out for the
Beat it, hurricane season.
All right, get out of here. Don't let the doorknob hit you. Jonathan Kagas, check him out at 9:30. We'll take a quick look when we come back. Unfortunately, a bunch of people lost jobs over something we weren't sure if it was ever going to work. Grocery delivery. A place is shuttering their spot. We'll check in on that after the break. Welcome to News 6 Tonight. We are so thankful that you're joining us here wherever you found us.
Yeah, you know what this tells me? If you have made this your new streaming destination, it tells me you're smart. Also good looking, because you chose to watch the news in a different way. That makes you really smart. Anybody can give you the news from a teleprompter or an old newspaper. We do it in a fresh new way.
That's right. So check us out wherever you like to stream. We have this app for your TV, News 6 Plus. You can find it on Roku and Amazon and whatever your smart TV is cooking. So thank you. We would love to hear your comments down
Oh my
below.
gosh. Yeah.
And then we'll show them.
Yeah, we will. News 6 Plus. The plus is you.
Ooh. Wasn't it strange in Florida the first time you saw a Kroger delivery truck driving around your neighborhood? Didn't you think,
Didn't
like
see a
me,
store?
Where the hell's the Kroger? I've never been to one of these before. Well, they just started opening delivery centers, opened a huge one in Groveland that employed 1,400 people. Look at all those trucks.
I know.
All those people who
I've
went to
driven
work there
past
every
this
day.
place.
And we heard from a guy who loved working there,
Yeah.
planned to work there for the rest of his life. They just told us that next year they are going to shutter this location, this huge location.
The only thing I can say that's good about this is that it's happening after the holidays. Thank goodness. But
hopefully they'll take care of those folks. But it's not a big town there in Groveland. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.